I used to think I knew what I wanted. The apartment, the job that sounded super impressive when people asked what I did for work. But what I was really chasing wasn't desire. It was proof. Proof that I was doing life right. Proof that I was enough. Proof that I was free, even though I was completely codependent on the very system that I had completely outgrown from. And the irony is, the further away from myself that I got, the louder I performed how independent I was and how happy I was. In this video, we're gonna do what I'm calling desire rehab. Not to shame desire, but to remember how to want from truth again, rather than from fear or conditioning. My hope for you in this video is to help you identify when your desire is actually coming from the wisdom of your body and your soul versus your survival programming. And to help you understand why things that maybe used to make you feel successful or good no longer do, or stop feeling alive for you. And how to rebuild desire that feels authentic to you and inspires and motivates you rather than drains you. Desire is not a plan. It is a living, breathing organism. When you have been living in survival mode for a very long time, your nervous system often can't tell the difference between expansion and threat. So what happens? We rush into whatever looks secure, stable, consistent, predictable, safe. Of course, these are all illusions of all of those things, because at the end of the day, none of that is in our control. Nothing is predictable. Nothing is truly safe in that way. But we might go towards the 9-to-5 salary job, or the lifestyle that doesn't put you in unpredictable situations and doesn't challenge you too much. The partner who maybe feels a bit familiar, maybe reminds you subconsciously of some of your toxic relationships as a child, but you may not even be super aware of that. Oops, spoiler. Whatever it is, often we seek out on a nervous system level things that are familiar to us, even if they're maybe not of our highest good. This is what I personally call an unexamined desire. We sleepwalk through our lives with these unconscious programming, this unconscious conditioning, where we're seeking out these things that are unconsciously or subconsciously familiar to us, not actually aligned with our truth, but are purely driven by fear because we haven't stretched our nervous system capacity or taught our nervous system that actually it's safe to expand beyond what we've experienced before. So for a lot of people, this manifests as living really, really inauthentic, unfulfilling lives, being extremely unsatisfied, sometimes worse. We won't get too far into how that manifests. Of course, that has a ripple effect into physical health, of course, mental health, all the things. It's all connected. It's like settling in a cage that you've outgrown, but you also might have no idea that you're still inside. This video is not about wanting less or even necessarily about wanting more. It's about wanting cleanly, examining the things that we surround ourselves with or align ourselves with, and asking ourselves the brutal, honest question of is this in integrity with who I actually am? Or is this a reflection of my unconscious programming? Authentic desire does not trap you, ever. It expands you. There's also this massive, massive collective delusion around what freedom actually is. We really buy into this idea that freedom looks like moving out at a young age, getting a secure job, buying a house, lavish apartment in some expensive city, paying bills, being self-sufficient. But what most of us call independence is, ironically, just another type of dependence. From the dependence on our family ecosystems right into dependence on systems, approval, and optics. We were taught to measure freedom by aesthetics. How big is your apartment? How much money are you making per month? How much are you traveling? How high are the ceilings in your apartment? What's your skincare routine? How many followers do you have? Here's the truth. If your life requires a performance, you are not free. Survival desire builds the illusion of choice, and authentic desires build the capacity for truth. Once you examine what you truly want or value, and you realize that much of your life is out of alignment with those things, there's this space of like, What do I want then? I know it's not that, but what do I want? Identity is a huge part of the map that we live by. I am this way, so that makes sense. This is the path for me. And it's all, of course, illusion. These cages that we keep ourselves in that we don't even realize we're living in. So when you have that newfound awareness, you lose that map. And you're like, where do I begin? And what do I even want? Like, I don't even know what I want. Because the old version of you, the survival self, has all the answers. That is the map also. The world is always going to tell you what you're supposed to do. Just keep following the map. The map will get you where the map wants to take you. Who designed the map? Not you. Aligning with authentic desire requires you to rip up the map because you realize it's not you. And that is the first day of life. That is the day that you are reborn. But it's also the day that most people go right back. They say, nope, actually, I don't want to go here. Let's just turn back around. We'll just try a different route. We'll use this map, but we'll just do a different career. I'll get into a new relationship, whatever it is for you. Don't do that, okay? Because this is where it gets good. If you have an urge to pick up that map again, rip it up, burn it, and throw it away. The map that we're talking about, this externalized, socially constructed map that we then have the choice to get rid of, that is like this false GPS system that keeps us disconnected from our truths our entire lives, keeps us reliant on these external systems, it keeps us outsourcing our inner authority, our power, keeps us slave-like, in essence. When we drop the map, this is when we start to access our true power as humans. And we are more than just thinking in our brain. Okay, we have a much deeper intelligence and GPS system that is running behind the scenes inside of ourselves at all times. And when we choose to throw away that map and stop putting our energy and attention towards there, out there, and we start redirecting it back in here, what happens? That GPS system, the one that actually knows the way to fulfillment, to truth, to alignment, to self-actualization and expansion, that comes online. So you are not lost when that map out there stops working. You're just not performing anymore, and you're actually closer than ever to real freedom, real clarity, and real direction. There's, of course, also a nervous system element to this as well, because your body's not going to let you hold on to a desire that feels safe or foreign or above your current ceiling or capacity. In other words, if your nervous system thinks that a certain desire will make you lose love, connection, approval, acceptance, it'll shut that desire down before you even consciously think anything at all. You probably won't even try. That's fear running the show. And so for many of us, this is when guilt kicks in, because even the mere thought of wanting to expand our ceiling, wanting more, we start associating wanting more or abundance with these projections around what wealth looks like or selfishness and greed. And we start telling ourselves, well, we should just be grateful for what I have. This is enough, and so on. These are stories that keep us in this perpetuated cycle of enslavement and self-denial and contraction. So I want to clarify again that desire rehab is not, and I repeat, not at all about chasing shiny new objects. It's about showing your body that expansion does not mean exile. You can grow without losing love. You can want more or something different without betraying yourself or who you've been. Desire isn't rebellion. It's remembrance of who you truly are, beneath all the layers of conditioning and programming and fear. Desire isn't random. So again, this comes back to this deeper intelligence that humans have that we've been disconnected from for a very, very long time. We are energetic beings living in an energetic universe. And desire is energy trying to move through you. It is the universe trying to express itself through you. It's how life evolves through you. This is what makes us creators when we tune into that frequency, into that energy, into our deeper desires, and we remove or release, rather, the fear that's covering them up or distorting them. This is how we create new versions of reality. This is how we become incredibly powerful. And here's the thing, when you ignore it, it doesn't just go away. What did we learn from Einstein? Energy can't be created or destroyed. It can only change from one form to another. So when we try to deny it or suppress it, it just moves into something else. Scrolling, obsession, restlessness, overthinking, burnout, disease. Let's not even talk about all the physical illnesses that extends to. So if you don't know what you want, or if you are tired or you don't care about what you want, you're not lazy. You're not off track. You're just jammed. Or you've gotten very used to just stuffing it down there that you forgot what that actually really is, or where that all of those manifestations of that suppression are actually coming from. Deep desire is your body saying, hey, there's something real here. This is what I need you to focus on. This is where you need to start bringing your energy to. And letting it move through you authentically does not make you impulsive or irresponsible. It doesn't make you greedy. It makes you honest. It aligns you with creative potential. It makes you a human who's actually using the power that we actually have available to us. And yes, that means you're one of few. It means you are one of few who consciously chooses to keep your life breathing. We've also been taught to white knuckle our way to what we want, or row upstream, work harder, grind all the way there. Hustle culture has made discipline sound so incredibly noble, like suffering was proof of commitment or proof of seriousness or worth. But discipline really is only like that when we're forcing our way towards a goal that's not actually clean. Because when a desire is real, discipline is not and does not feel like punishment. It feels like devotion. It feels like meeting something that's meeting you. It's natural. It flows. And that's not to say that every single day you wake up and you're just like, this is easy every single day. But it certainly doesn't feel like you're rowing upstream. It feels like something that even when it's hard, you feel internally supported, like it's aligned, like you know it's leading you somewhere that feels, not just that you think is right or that's going to take you somewhere, but feels in your body, in your heart, in your gut, like it is true, like it is aligned, like it is in integrity. Very big difference between what you think is right or what you think is aligned or what you think makes sense versus what feels real. Devotion does not require you to force yourself to show up. When you're living in survival and you're living from a place of grind and hustle and discipline, you're running on adrenaline to sustain performance and to blow past your body's signals and to move out of integrity. That's adrenaline. That's chemicals in your body that happen in a fight or flight response. But with devotion and deep, honest desire, you're running on resonance. And visually for me, what I feel like that is it's sort of like, again, we think about how we are energetic beings. We are like magnets in a way. We're like frequencies, and we naturally attune to the frequencies that are in resonance with us. When something is at the same frequency as you, it pulls you in. It is like a magnet. So again, that's not to say that every single day is easy, but when something is in resonance, you're not fighting to hold the frequency of something that's misaligned. The resonance is there, you're aligned in frequency, there's a natural flow. Most of the difficulty and the challenge with that path, with moving in resonance, is actually finding safety in throwing away the oars and mastering surrender. So, what is desire rehab then? Here's a more practical translation for you. Desire rehab is a practice where we learn how to sit in that gap between what we thought we wanted out of fear and survival programming and what we truly want deep down beneath all of that. When something calls to you, don't analyze it. Don't try to come up with your 5-year plan. Don't try to will your way there or logic your way there. Listen to it and tune into your body. Connect to your breath and breathe. Where does it land in your body? Do you feel it in your heart? Your gut? Your tummy? Your throat? Your jaw? Your third eye? Where do you feel it? Maybe that doesn't come up immediately, but just that shift in attention towards your body will start kind of allowing that regulation and that safety so that you create the conditions for that wisdom to start speaking a little bit louder. Also, how is it landing in your body? So if something's tightening up, that's a signal that that's not desire. But if it opens and if it softens and you're able to breathe a little bit deeper, that's more aligned with truth, right? So we're just thinking in terms of, and it really does help to create this kind of split between fear and survival, fight or flight, shoulds, hustle, grind, rowing upstream, right? That's just imagine, that's one umbrella. Think about how the body responds to living that way, performance. And then on the other hand, we have truth. We have presence, integrity, flow, surrender, faith. What else am I missing? Softening, right? So which energy, which umbrella is your body kind of falling under? Is the reaction in your body falling under? That's going to give you a slight hint at whether or not something is a true desire deep down or if it's a more of an unexamined, programmed desire. You can also ask yourself, if you are more mental and you do like questions, then you can ask yourself, does this desire feel like pressure or like possibility? There are deeply aligned things that you may put pressure on yourself, you may want to commit to, you may want to show up for. That's different. I'm just talking about, is it expansive for you? That doesn't mean it's not hard sometimes. It doesn't mean you don't have to push yourself. But is it expansive? And does it feel clean? Or does it feel contracting? Does it make you tighten up? Does it make you wince? You know? That is the place to begin, and it will tell you everything. And your body's already telling you all of that. It's just paying attention to it. And if it is real desire and you are softened and it feels clean, then pace it. Do not chase it. Do not come up with that plan. Again, just walk beside it. And understand that it's going to be an unfolding staircase, because this is the hero's journey. This is the path where there's no map, remember? There's no map. The map is in here, and it comes with each breath. One step at a time, often through yes or no's. So that really requires a deep, deep, immense faith in yourself. And if you don't have that yet, then that's what we're all here to build. I certainly had to develop that faith in myself. I'm still developing it day by day. It's architecture that we build through this work. The map out there is like a map that shows you the whole scope. You know, you can zoom out, you can see what level your career is going to take you at, what you might make at the end of it. You'll see it all written out on a piece of paper, probably online somewhere if you really wanted to. This map, it's like a GPS system where you can't see the whole map. You can only see the next 300 feet in front of you, the next turn that you're going to make. Trust it, because it knows better than that map out there. And it's not a finish line, okay? It's a conversation. And when we slow ourselves down enough to really be hand in hand with it, present with it, step by step, that's when desire starts to show us what it's really asking for. And it is an unfolding, but it's a pretty magical one. Some practices for you. Write down every single thing that you think you want right now. Then scan through it and do a little bit of an audit. What do you think may actually be a performance? Cross those off. And what on that list actually feels alive, expansive? Circle those. Also, sitting down in silence and just reminding yourself that it is safe to want. Breathe. And notice where your body resists. Notice what comes up, what kind of thoughts come up. That'll show you exactly where you've been punished for wanting more in the past. And then do a little analysis on your current definition of freedom, or even fulfillment. Does it require you to prove anything? And then ask yourself, what part of my life looks free, but feels like captivity? The world doesn't change because a few people get what they want. It changes because enough people remember what they actually want deep down. When you stop chasing from survival and you start allowing yourself to desire from clean truth, you unplug from the old system. You stop feeding what's fake. And that's the quiet revolution. People healing their want. You're not meant to chase your desire. You're meant to become safe enough to identify it and then hold it. Desire is your body remembering it's alive. And if you can truly sit with that aliveness without rushing to label it, you'll start wanting things that actually belong to you. You don't need to manifest anything. You just need to listen long enough to know what's real. What's one desire you're ready to let breathe without performing or rushing it? Drop it in the comments below and let it exist without a plan. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.